the next question that I have is if you can share a practical tip from Amma that you implemented in your daily study routine when you were at uni or, yeah, at
So
school.
one thing, not just during my academic period, but even today, if there's one thing I do is always say the Mula Mandira. Always, as of now, it has been habituated that I can multitask. That kind of goes inside your head like a recording, and you can do things. I think that is one thing I have always, from my school days, like since the time I have known Amma, that's something I always followed. Always say the Mula Mandram, before your exams, before you go to the exam, once you wake up, or whenever possible. It's not like just you say it in the morning, say it in the, there is no specific times. Whenever you can, just keep saying that. That gives you a really good vibe and energy. Those who, constantly say that, I think they experience it. I have my personal experiences where, you might have this heaviness, you might feel this heaviness right down in, something like gripping your heart and stuff, and you just keep saying that, it eases off. It really does. If you, I mean, those who do it, I think they'll kind of agree with me. But Amma's Mula Mandram has a lot of power. Of course, you need, whenever you have time, always read the Nutya to Guru Potri, the Kavasam, all those things. But this is not that you need to sit somewhere and read. You can just keep chanting that, walking, doing your work, studying your. As of now, for me, before I go to work, I do. Before touching every patient, I say the Mula Mandram. And so at times, like, that Mula Mandram just keeps, it's like a recording, like subconsciously it's there. Even at times where I'm, kind of unconscious or I'm sick, I can sense that Mula Mandram being played. It's like, you feel like someone is. I remember once I was hospitalized, and I felt I heard the Mula Mandram. Eventually, it was no one around me who knew the Mula Mandra, but I think it was in my head that was, going on. So yeah, those are a few things that's one of the main thing I follow. A part of that, whenever you feel like, venting out something, you feel heavy, you can write down the Mula Mandram, or you can just write down Omsakthi Parashakti. There's one incident I would like to share. At a point of time, I went for a Pada Puja. This was, I think, a couple of years, I think right before COVID or something, or just a few years before COVID, if I'm not wrong. I went to Amma for just like it was a normal day. I went to the Pada Puja. I think my parents were with me. I had the habit of writing down. If I'm hurt, I kind of go through, I had kind of depressive symptoms, and so I kind of write it down, thinking that it'll help. You went out whatever it is, and it'll help. Thinking that I sometimes write down things, which no one knew. So one day I went for the Pada Puja, and I was like, yeah, Amma just spoke like normally everything, and before I left, Amma told me, stop writing. It was no one knew that Amma told me stop writing, and I just looked at Amma and said, whatever you're writing, you stop writing. And my parents were clueless on what Amma was saying, and my father was like, are you writing some expenditure or some diary writing or whatever it is, because they were so clueless on what Amma said. But what actually Amma said was to stop writing. And I remember later once Amma told me, like, at that time Amma didn't tell me anything. A couple of days later, Amma told me, like, when you write it down, you've gone through the trouble, you've gone through the hardship. When you're writing it down, you're going through it again. Why do you have to go through it again? Just forget it. Like it was in my head, like, okay, now this is something I'm feeling, I need to write it down, so it stays in your memory, and it kind of, it's troubling you, right? Even if you want to forget it, it's like subconsciously it stays in your memory, and then again when you're when you're writing it down, you're almost going through the same experience. You're going through the same haunting experience, right? So why do you have to do that? Instead, if you have to write something, if you want to write something which is you're experiencing happiness, write the positive things. Why to write the negative things? Or write Omsakthi Parashakti or the Moola Mandiram, or write those. So okay, I said okay, and since then I never wrote. And I came out, and I remember there was this one Shakti at if you remember near the where they give the prasadam, where they give near the Shakti Oli office. There was this small book where you write Om Shakti Parashakti every day for 9 times. It's a small book.
Okay.
You can write it. That book was there where someone came and gave it to me. It was I remember 3 books of you write Om Shakti Parashakti, and in a small page there was like 9 lines, and then there was one book where you write the Moola Mantra. So someone came and gave it to me, and I asked how much, Shakti, and she said like, no, we are just giving this to everyone today. So these are certain things, like Amma would not just tell you, do this. Even she'll, hold you by your hand and take you down the road. At times we don't realize that, but yeah, that's the truth.
Wow. Yeah, simply wow. I think I've just started actually writing in 2 sections, like the bad things and the good things that I've done for the day. But I think hereafter I'm gonna stick to the good things.
So since then, even though I don't write the good things, I make sure I don't write the bad things, because the reason Amma told me was, yes, that's we don't think of it, but Amma said like, you're going through that pain once again. Why do you have to do that?
So Amma said like stop writing, and Amma said all these things like
yeah.
Wow.
Amma said stop writing, and no one, my parents were with me, and no one had any. They were clueless like on what
And then
Amma
Amma explained.
Yeah, Amma did not explain it on that day. 2 days later, I think she gave me time to think over it. Days later, she told me this, right? And then and that's when someone came and gave me that as well. I think that was and then I realized, I thought, okay, fine. Like I said, I asked that Shakti, where can I get this? And she pointed out the office right next to Shakti Oli office. I remember I went and got it. And that was the only time I got that. And after that, I never saw that books anywhere.
Tailor-made for you at that time.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
Not that we always search it, but since then onwards, I've been searching for that. Until date, no.
Wow. Okay, great. I think there was a lot of tips, and yeah, so you mentioned about not writing down the bad things.
Writing down bad things, write down good things. Or at any point of time, you feel like you need to write something, please write Om Shakti Parashakti or the Moola Mandiram.
And tell Moola Mandiram always, whenever you can.
Always tell the Moola Mandiram. That you can. You don't have any time limit for that, right? You can tell it anywhere, everywhere, no matter what you are doing.
அம்மாவை நினை மனமே மேல்மருவூர் அம்மாவை நினை மனமே.
Please like, share, and subscribe to the BangaruAmma Global YouTube channel for more inspiring and uplifting videos like this one.